especially the pastor, for inviting me to be among you this evening. Okay, first of all, I want to definitely thank you for that. I want to thank God for allowing me to be here, and be here safely, okay, and be able to voice my message to you guys and why it's important to go vote. First of all, I'm going to give you a little bit about myself. I really don't like bragging about myself or even talking about myself, but you need to know the experience I bring. Like they said, I'm the first African-American mayor of Balch Springs, Texas. I'm a former police chief. I'm currently a teacher in Garland ISD. I'm a former school board trustee, sat on the North Texas Super Bowl Committee, Greater Dallas Crime Commissions, the original board that tried to bring high-speed rail to Texas. I sat on that commission. So I've done a lot. I consider myself a seasoned veteran. I didn't just jump into this race at age 14. See, my mother was a precinct chair, precinct judge, and school board trustee. So at age 11, she gave me flyers to hand out to everyone. At age 14, I was hanging out with politicians and ministers, because ministers support the politicians. So I was hanging out with these guys, and I'm like, hey, that's cool. I want to do that when I get older. So at age 14, I decided before age 55, I would run for governor, because at that time, we couldn't dream to be president. So I set that go. Joined the military. I'm also a Desert Storm veteran, so I've served my country. I served it well. Thank you. I believe in, it's an old saying in the military, and a lot of our veterans that's here that will know, it's always country before party. So I believe in that value of putting people first. The military taught me that, my mother taught me that. Always reach back and put someone along the ride to help them, because you never know when you might need them again. And I've lived by that my whole life. If you go, you Google me, you look at my website, everything. I have been a soldier on the ground for a long time. I've been on the picket lines, protests. I go feed the homeless. But I tell everybody, I don't need a camera to follow me when I go feed the homeless or hang out with those veterans. Because guess what? That is something sacred between me and my maker and the people that I serve. So you'll never see me hanging with all these camera crews. I don't believe in it. With that said, I'm running to change what Abbott has done to this state. Okay? That's what I'm running. Okay? Another thing is, Abbott is more extreme than Donald Trump. You might not believe it, but it is. Okay? One, Donald Trump, you already know what you got. You don't never know which way he's going to go. With Abbott, he'll tell you one thing, but do something else. Okay? First of all, he wants to privatize almost everything. Criminal justice system is privatized, which now almost every prison, why do you think they put more and more black and brown and poor whites into the prison system? Because it makes money for friends who put money into their coffers. And that's the truth. This morning I did some research. They sit here and they said, oh, we send our sympathy and our prayers to those victims down in Florida. But nobody wants to start the conversation about the NRA. Nobody wants that conversation. One of the main men that's saying that he's corny. Let's see, he's our Texas senator. He got $158,000 from the NRA. There's almost $850,000 donated to the Texas Republicans across the board. Now, it was 26 Republicans received that money. It was 2 Democrats received that money. What I say to them and what I ask you, call somebody and says, let's give that money back. Let's turn around and use that money so we can put it into mental health. Let's make sure that our schools are secure, because they are not. Like I said, I teach in those schools every day. I'm a former police chief. They can tell you that it's safe. It's not safe, people. They are soft targets, and people know that our schools and our children are soft targets. We as parents, we as voters got to step up to the plate and make sure that it is funded. Not only that to educate, they get quality education, that they are safe when they go to those schools. A parent should never have to get that call to run down to that school because they don't know if their child is living. And I'm not trying to politicize what happened, but it's gone on too long. If you look at my websites, this ain't just something I just started because of this shooting. I started talking about this a long time ago before these shootings. Because the simple fact is, it's happening, and we have to address this issue. Another thing, we're looking at the quality of education. We're number 43 or 47, depends on which status polls that you look at. One, when corporations come here, they bring their already made workforce, because guess what? With those numbers, they're saying Texans are not educated enough. So they bring in thousands of their own workers with them. It's time that we stop that. What I want to do as the governor, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, we're going to drop down to the 20s. But if I can get us from 43 or 47 to the 30s in my first term, I've done a job.
Amen.
Now, how do we fix this? Everybody will tell you, oh, it's a problem, but do they give you the answers? Well, one, we give 10, 15, 20-year tax abatement to big-time corporations.
Yeah.
We have to make sure that we stop giving the educational tax away. Last year they collected over almost $50 billion. It was $49.8 billion. If we only took 1% of that, if we make the educational tax on these corporations 1%, $498 million went into our education system. They said when they sold us the lottery, they said we was going to get all that money from education. Everybody voted for it.
Yeah.
We only get 27%. Well, under my platform, I want to increase that 3% to 30% of that lotto money. But that means we pick up an additional $158 million a year for education. Stop the voucher program, because what the voucher program is doing is pushing public education out the door. Because if the Constitution says that we will not give tax dollars to private entities, what is a private school? It's a private entity. I don't know how they're doing it, but the Constitution says we not give tax dollars to it, but we are. Greg Abbott turned around, he got a scholarship fund. Did y'all even know he has a fund called the Governor's Science Research Program? They're spending $11 million to house 100 rapists. Why are those rapists not in a maximum security prison? I don't even know. And why is it costing $11 million? He has so many different little funds like this. You know, it needs to be questioned, but no one's questioned it. Under my watch, it's about people. We're going to give money back to the people. First of all, we're too property tax heavy. They're taxing us on our property. Our homes, just the tax on the home is catching up, is easy, $2,000, $3,000 easy. That's not including other taxes. But if he stopped letting his friends put money into those coffers, and we start taxing those corporations the way they should, then you get a property tax back. You should get that money back, because now we don't need to put that burden on taxpayers that heavily. Yeah. These are the things that you need a person that's a blue collar worker. I noticed on everybody that I'm running in the governor's race, all of a sudden, my theme has been blue collar leadership ever since I started. Now all of a sudden everybody wants to, when we show up to these debates, oh, you need some blue collar leadership. You need some blue collar leadership. And I'm sitting here listening to this, and I'm like, really? Yeah. You wasn't saying that in the beginning.
Tell the truth.
Okay, you wasn't saying it when you said, well, I saw a problem, I decided I'm gonna jump in. To me, if you're truly for the people, you start that ride from the beginning, long before the political office comes available. That is what I've done. And that is why I'm asking you guys, just don't take my word, go research me. You'll find out I'm a soldier for the people, and what the Democrats would call the rebel of the Democratic Party. Because you know why? Just because I'm a Democrat can't mean I can't talk to a Republican.
Thank you.
Okay? Republicans should be talking to Democrats, and Democrats should be talking, because guess what? If we believe we need a blood transfusion, blood is blood. It's going to keep us alive. So a party should never divide people. We got enough divisiveness. Donald Trump has come in here, and Abbott has gone along with it for so many different little ideas. He wants to put the wall on the border. If I'm your governor, the wall won't go on the border, because if I got to sue Donald Trump in the federal government to keep it off the border, I will. Because what they fail to realize, some of these people came over here at 1 and 2 years old. They don't know another country. So we gotta support Dr. Guys. It's just like when we came over. We had to end up blending in. So are these people. And what Mr. Abbott failed to realize, if you go along with Mr. Trump and kick everybody out and tell them they got 10 years, guess what? Who's gonna do the construction? Who's gonna work in the agricultural field? Oh, it's time to wrap it up. Okay. I'm sorry. I'll talk. I love to talk. Any questions?
Do we have any questions, Rob? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It's a couple of avenues. The electoral college. And I do believe that's an issue that needs to be taken care of, because here we go through the motions of voting, then you get about 15 people deciding who and who will not become president. Another thing is Medicare, the Affordable Care Act. Where is the position for that? And how about unions for these jobs and everything? Because as I see it, people, they are afraid to go against the establishment, because they can do what they want, and there's there's no unions whatsoever and pre-clearance. What's the latest on the voting rights?
Mayor, can you answer that in 2 minutes?
Okay, I'm trying to remember everything he asked. Okay, unions, of course, I support unions. I've been a police and a teacher, so I'm always gonna be in association, so I support that. As your new governor, I would definitely go seek the $100 billion that Greg Abbott left because he had an issue with President Obama, because in 2020, that $100 billion will go away. Okay, I believe in single payer systems. That's what we need to start moving towards so everybody can get affordable health care at affordable costs. And you asked about the pre-clearance.
Pre-clearance and the voting, the
Okay.
voter ID, so.
The voter ID is another way to disenfranchise voters. And this year in 2018, they're going to be redistricting maps too. So whoever becomes governor, lieutenant governor, mainly the lieutenant governor because he's the one over the Senate. So we're going to have to take a fight, and we're going to need the people support behind us because I can only veto. He's only one person. He votes in a tie. So we're going to need those platforms. We're going to need people to come down, protest, picket. And like I told people, I'll get out there with you. And your governor will be arrested with you because that's the type of man that I am. So I stand in the corner. I put it this way. I'm a straightforward guy. I'm a straight shooter.
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.